Yes, people, myself TS, welcome back to NoFilterTS. And yeah, and this one was meant to be the preview ahead of the North London derby, but Arsenal have come out and mentioned they've put in a request for the game to be postponed. Now, obviously, it's something that's been happening a lot recently in regards to COVID. Some teams, down to positive COVID cases. Also, some teams bringing injuries in regards to it, and obviously it's January now, and the players are away at AFCON. So Arsenal, just on AFCON alone, we've got Aubameyang out. Obviously he's been ostracised for the side anyways. Pepe, Partey, and El Neni. Which Partey and El Neni more or less make up our midfield. Obviously we sent Maitland Niles out on loan, and it's kind of poor planning down to the club, Arteta and Edu, in terms of their management of the situation. Obviously, they can't make up for, Odegaard testing positive for COVID, Smith Rowe having a bit of an injury or not being fully fit, and Xhaka just being a headless chicken. But, in my opinion, in regards to the postponement, and, a lot of people have been saying this for some time now, is that all these teams, especially in the Premier League as it is, all these teams have, you have your first team, you have the under 23s, down to the under 18s, etc. I was there on Tuesday evening watching the under 23s play, and there's players from the under 23s that's not even in the under 23s that much. Like, I was there Tuesday night seeing, Hutchinson, Berif, Salah-Dean play. They was on the bench last night against Liverpool at Anfield, and in my personal opinion, looking at the team we put out last night, and players that's on the bench, unless there were some new COVID cases which would have occurred, we definitely had enough players to fill the side against Spurs. Just counting it myself, based on who was available yesterday, you got Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, and then Ben White as an example at right back. Based on what I'm going to say next, in the midfield you could play a two of Chambers and Lokonga. Off the right hand side, I'd put Martinelli, Lacazette just behind Eddie and Ketia. Then on the left, if Saka's fit, he starts. If not, Nuno Tavares, or you give someone like a Murray Hutchinson the chance. Possibly if Hutchinson starts, he plays off the right and Martinelli off the left. But there was enough players there, and then the likes of Hutchinson, Patino, those guys can be on the bench. Leno, they're capable enough to put a side out there. And it's a bit of hypocrisy because just a week ago everyone said, "Oh, Klopp's scared," they're doing up false positives and all this sort of stuff. And we literally praise the side for showing such fight and determination. After going down to 10 minutes against Liverpool, to within 24 hours be like, "Oh yeah, postponement." Like, no offense, Tottenham's not that great, and they're without. At the moment, he's injured. They're without Son, who's their best player. Hurricane. He ain't a Hurricane no more. He's kind of died out this season, and I think that's obviously because he didn't get his move. And I feel that even with the side I mentioned, we would have been capable enough to go to their stadium and do a job, even if it means we've got to play without a 10. And we play Lacquer up top, and then you go over midfield three of the two I just mentioned in Chambers and Lokonga, and put Patino in there. Like, there's definitely options out there that we could have fielded a side that would have been capable enough to go into that game and get a result. So obviously we'll find out tomorrow whether or not the game's postponed. Most likely it will be postponed. And again, I think the late notice in regards to these things is not good. Both clubs, have fans that travel from across the country. Some that maybe even had plans on travel from out of the country, especially in a time like with COVID, all this, travelling from into the country and stuff can be difficult and that. So this late notice on postponements, in my opinion, is not acceptable. Things like train tickets and that, you're not going to be able to get refunds on that, hotel bookings, all this sort of stuff. So as much as it's not an ideal situation, in my opinion, I feel like the clubs now have to look at something where they got to look at how they can reimburse their fans that have put plans in place to attend these games, which then therefore be postponed. But that's just me giving my opinion on it, giving my 2 pence. Obviously, we'll see tomorrow whether or not the game is to be postponed. If it isn't to be postponed, then I'll go ahead and do a combined 11 based on who's currently available, and a prediction for the match. But yeah, that's it for me in regards to this subject. Like I said, I feel we definitely should be able to field some form of side. Even I see, is it Chris Wheatley mentioned that, talking about us recalling Miguel Ziz. So again, another midfielder. So everyone's got an opinion on the situation. I feel that postponing games sound good for now, but in the long run, when all the games come piling in again, it's not going to be too great. Well, that's just me giving my opinion. Everyone's free to have their own. So yeah, if you're listening on the YouTube, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Google, any of the other podcast platforms, then yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Instagram at NoFilterTS. And I hope you like what you heard, and you keep listening, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Peace.